Since I couldn't vlog today, I'm going to do a Q&A session, which I want to do more often, at least once a week, with whomever is around. And I'm going to do Brad Lee style, smoking a cigar. I don't know which cigar is this. And drinking Jack Daniel's Single Barrel. And very good.
It smells good.
Today, who's going to interview me? Not interview, ask the questions.
Ask questions. It's not whoever. It's people who's relevant that you think will have really good opinions and really good questions for you.
That's correct.
Exactly.
People that want to learn. So, who is going to interview me or ask questions? It's going to be my health coach, dietitian, supporter, cheerleader.
Lifestyle coach.
Lifestyle coach.
Right?
So,
it's a fit style living coach.
So questions can be anything about the things that I know. Real estate, development, construction, and investing.
Perfect.
So anything that you want to know. Do you want to change places so the smoke doesn't go to you?
It doesn't bother me. You know that. Okay, so let's get started. Well, first I think it's a great idea to have just like an open conversation that people can see, because sometimes you post the information, we all do it, thinking that people are just going to read it. But I think when people start talking about things, it becomes more like something that you can relate to, which is better. So these are things that we have talked behind camera before. And I am in the process of, I realized that just having a job or a business not necessarily is the only way or the best way to have incomes. I realized at this point in my life that I want more income and I want to have other ways of making money. So, as you know, not too long ago, we joined this group to learn about trading and investments.
The group is iGenius.
Yes, yes, we have an amazing group, and I mostly joined because I want to learn how to trade, but I don't trust people to manage my money. I'm a little bit of a control freak when it comes that way. But I'm looking into different things. I want to learn how to trade, I want to invest, and obviously real estate is the goal at the end. Like, it's my main goal for now.
And what I like about iGenius, I know this is not a question, but whatever. When you were in Jamaica or in New York?
New York.
And you said, this friend of mine, Veronica, just presented me something that I want to show you. And when she presented me, at first I was listening with judgment. Okay. Because of the referral aspect of it. So just one of another platforms that I bring clients to them and I get a referral fee. However, when I went to the presentation or the online presentation, I saw that it was much more than that, because it was actually a platform of things that I believe, which is teaching people how to trade and to invest. And what triggered me actually, because at that point, just for that, for me, was not interesting because I already know how to do it. However, I don't have time to do it. I don't have time to sit down and trade. And do all the stuff. There's so much stuff that you need to pay attention if you want to do that full time. But iGenius has a partnership with this company called Endotech. Endotech is one of them. Which is a robot trader. And I used to do that in Brazil. When I was a trader in Brazil, when I had my company, I was specializing pair trading, which is buying one asset and selling the other one at the same time, because you want the difference of price, the ratio between them. And it's very hard to do that when you're doing that by yourself. I need to buy this at this price, and now I need to sell this at that price. And then we had a hobo trader that was going to sell and buy the two assets at the same time, at the same ratio that I want. So when I heard about the Endotech, that is $100,000 if you want to use it. And through iGenius you don't need to pay that fee. No. It's free. I said, okay, that's interesting, because even if I don't want to sell the platform to someone to get a referral fee, this is going to benefit me.
Yeah.
So that's why I really like it.
And that's what I did it initially. I never been into multi-level marketing, even if I've been approached by many multi-level marketers a million times, because I've been in sales for a while and I'm really good at it. But it was never my goal to do that iGenius as a business. I just truly wanted to learn. I feel like that is information that we all need to know. Like, they should teach that in college or high school, if so, because we freaking graduate to, I graduated to be a nutritionist dietitian and I know how to do that, but when I started doing my own business, I was like, okay, I need to learn how to manage my money, and there's so many things to it.
Actually, this is a very good platform for parents who know the importance of financial literacy, but they themselves don't have that. And I come from a household of debt. My parents did the best they could to teach me what they knew about it, but they didn't have the knowledge. They are not investors. My parents are blue collar workers. They work their whole life. They still do, because they never knew how to invest. And I know how to invest, but I'm not doing, and that's a problem. I feel that is a problem when you know how to do something, you know how important it is, and you don't do it, that becomes a problem. So parents who want to teach their kids the way that they do it on the platform is very easy to learn. And you don't need to go to college to learn about economy. You don't need to go to college to learn about investing. You don't need to go to college to know about trading. I think you need to go to college if your profession can kill someone or put someone in jail.
But anyways, point is, let me make it a little bit more family. Hold on, let me make it a little bit more family oriented. I have been
very family oriented. I'm telling parents that they don't need to spend $200,000 in college for a kid that wants to invest. You need to start teaching your kids.
That's where my point is going to. I think this new generation of young people, they don't necessarily want to study, but they do want to make money.
Exactly.
So it's kind of like before in our times, if you want to make money, most of them don't want to study, and they don't want to go to college.
They want to learn skills that make money, and going to college not necessarily give you skills to make money.
That's a good way to put it. But yes, and that's because that's how they feel. They don't want to go to college. So I've been approaching ladies or gentlemen who are older than me that I know they have like young adults, and I say, hey, I know your child wants to, start a business and something like that, and they need money to do that. Why don't you teach them, or you buy the platform for them, and that way they can make money. Invest in learning how to invest, which is something that once you learn, you cannot unlearn. That's going to be something useful for life. Second, they can use it as a business to make money as well, doing what they say, the multi-level marketing. And third, they're young. This is the information that they need for good. So
and another thing, when you have a skill, your boss cannot take that skill from you.
Yeah.
You can be fired, you still learn that skill, you still have that skill. Your spouse on a divorce cannot take from you. Your money, they can take it.
Yeah.
But your skill, they cannot take it.
Exactly.
And when you
make
know
money again.
And when you know how to make money, that's golden. And the platform also has like personal finance stuff, so it's very good. If you don't know how to, I know how to make money. I don't know how to manage my money. I manage my clients' money very well. I'm very not respectful, very responsible with my clients' money.
Yeah.
But when it comes to my own, it's different.
You just like spending. Okay, questions. My questions though are going to be about real estate, because that's something that, iGenius is something that I'm doing. It's growing, it's going well, but honestly the end goal is, that's okay, I don't mind, but the end goal of this is to purchase my real estate property. So I do have some money for a good down payment, but I keep going back and forth between three things. One of them is just purchase a property for me to live. Maya, no.
We might have dog barks.
Yeah, we might have dog barks, by the way. The other one is very nice and quiet sometimes. So one thing is just to purchase a place for me to live, so I don't have to deal with rent anymore. I'm tired of deposits, and then the neighbors are horrible and there's nothing you can do, and they don't clean the buildings, and then the rent's going up every so often and they don't care. I don't want to deal with that hassle anymore. So one is just purchase my own property. Second will be buying a duplex or triplex. I don't know if I want to go any bigger than that. Maybe 3 doors would be the most I want to do. And the point of that is just to rent 2 and live in 1. Even though for the budget that I have, for the money that I could give for a deposit, that might not allow me to live in my ideal neighborhood, which is by the water. And third is buying a place for Airbnb.
Okay.
And then since Airbnb is very profitable, like gets a lot of money, I could just rent again in a place that, you know, be very enjoyable to live in. So I'm still going back.
So what's the question?
Into those. So the question is, I mean, I think everyone wants to know, someone who knows about real estate investments,
what would be my opinion?
What would be, yeah, what would you do if you were me?
Okay, number one, when people are buying real estate, and that's what we agents are taught to, like, you always need to educate your client to compromise one of the 3 things. Either you're going to compromise the price.
Okay.
Either you're going to compromise the size of the property or the location. I would never compromise. If it was for me, I would never compromise the location. Because
you
why?
See? I was just gonna say,
I would never compromise
I
the
don't
location.
think I could compromise in the price because I don't like having huge debts and I don't want a huge mortgage.
The price, that's how I think. And when I have my companies, I think the same thing.
Okay.
I always compromise things that I will do once.
Okay.
You're going to pay for the property once. The price you're going to pay once.
Okay.
The location, you're going to live there forever. You're going to live there every single day.
Yeah, but the monthly mortgage, I'm going to pay it every month.
The price is once. The price of the property is $400,000, $410,000. You're going to do that once. Doesn't matter if it's financed or not. You're going to do
it's going to be financed.
You're going to do that once.
Yeah, but I'm going to be keeping the monthly payments.
It doesn't matter.
Okay,
the price is once. Why? Because the price of the real estate will go up.
Okay.
So you are going to gain from that. Period.
Okay.
The location, you're going to live there every single day. You had that problem before. You loved your apartment, you hated the building. So you compromise the building, the location.
Yeah.
Building is a location because you have the location, the city, the neighborhood, the building.
Yeah.
So you compromise that and you hate it every single day, that when you walked out the door, you walked out of the door of your apartment, you hate it every single day. So you compromise the location. For me, you're going to complain every single day. The price, you're going to pay once. Oh, but the rent I pay every month. You're going to make more money. You can overcome the price. You can never overcome the location. You're always going to complain.
I never thought about it that way.
So that's number one.
I'm very methodical and practical. So I always go for like what is more convenient instead of what I really would like to do, kind of thing. And it's true. It's true. I was able to get an apartment by the water, and I got it because it was by the water. And I love my apartment review, but every time I step out of my door, I hated the building. You know, it was terrible. Yeah. It was terrible.
The second thing, my personal opinion, especially for people that work out of a salary. The first property that you buy needs to be a property that makes you money.
Yes.
Not a property that takes money away from you. That's my personal opinion.
I know it's your personal opinion, which is what I want right now. So saying that, buying an apartment for me to live is probably what we're gonna right now take off the list. According to that opinion, I'm interested.
Yeah, you need to balance what is good for you, and that's my opinion. And why I say that? Because you were complaining about rent. Yeah. I don't want to pay rent because I don't have control. The guy raises the rent, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so what you're going to do, you're going to buy something, and now you have a mortgage. Okay, recession is coming. I don't think it's going to be a big recession.
I don't think so either.
Nevertheless, recession is coming, you got fired. How are you going to pay your mortgage?
I'm not gonna get fired. I never do.
Hypothetical thing. And
for the record, I had never been fired in my life.
I've been fired in my life and I don't care.
Okay.
Every time you get into your car, you put your seatbelt, right?
Yes.
You don't expect to crash your car,
yeah,
but can happen.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything can happen. You can be on an accident. Where's the wood?
Knock on wood?
Yeah.
Oh, here. On my plant.
Knock on wood.
Just tuck my plant in there.
Something can happen to you and you might not be able to work.
That's true.
How you're making money to pay your mortgage?
No, it's true. It's true. You got a good point.
You miss 3 payments on your mortgage, you're out.
That's terrible. Yes. No, you got a good point.
So what's the balance that I'm saying? Buy a property that makes you money, and with that money, you pay first your rent or the mortgage of the property that you are going to live on. What I'm telling people, get a second income. Buying a property is a way to make income.
And that's
Daniel, but the rent that I'm going to get is only going to cover the mortgage. Okay, so buy an investment property that you can make more money, such as Airbnb. On Airbnb, usually you're going to make 50% or double what you would do on a long-term rental.
Yeah, I know.
So if you have a rental that pays you $1,000, with the Airbnb in the right location, you probably can get $1,500 to $2,000.
Yeah.
So that's my point of view.
And I know people that has done it and it's been extremely successful.
My client, he did the opposite because that was his belief.
Mm-hmm.
He said, Daniel, I prefer to put money towards my property. Okay, that's your problem. I would put money towards the investment property, get that money, and with that money, I either would pay a rent where I want to live, that I don't depend on my salary, or is going to complement my salary, or I'm going to get that money to put towards the property that I want, not the property that I can afford.
Okay.
It's two different concepts.
Yeah.
What I want, what I can afford.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot afford the property that I want now. Okay, how can I afford then? Making more money? Okay. Can I get a second job? I don't want to get a second job on that sense, working for someone else. So I'm going to buy a property that makes me money, and now I have my salary plus the money that I'm getting from that property, and now I can pay the rent where I want to live. So that's my intake for first-time home buyers. Okay. Everybody wants to get out of. Buying a house to live, it's not an asset. Buying a property to live, it's not an asset. An asset is something that puts money in your pocket.
Yeah.
Buying a property to live, do not put money in your pocket. It's cash flow negative. Every single month you have to pay the mortgage, the property tax, the insurance, the maintenance. It's consuming money. Oh, Daniel, but in the future it's going to appraise. But you don't live in the future, you live in the present.
That's true. That's true. I think it's very old thinking because obviously that's how my dad, did. Every time he got a chance, just buy properties. And right now he lives out of the rent of all those properties.
Exactly. He lives out of the rent of the properties.
Yeah.
So
but he started buying the property for us to live, and then he was able to, with his business, he's a lawyer, make money to buy other properties and rent them out and things like that. But
in the end, I'm going to tell you what I tell all my clients. The best investment is the one that makes you sleep at night. Mm-hmm. Investment is not an exact science, because depends on factors that are not controllable. Depends on the economy, depends on the tenant, depends on the government, depends on a bunch of things that are not controllable. 1 + 1 is 2, exact science. Buying a property for $400,000 and renting and getting this, not exact science. Depends on several factors.
And now that you say that exact words, I mentioned it earlier, I'm a little bit a control freak a little bit, so I think it may keep me up at night renting my house to strangers so often?
Because you're thinking about your house.
Yeah.
That's a house. It's not your home.
But it's my money.
Okay, but you're bringing you money. My client, I'm going to give you the example of my client. He bought his first property. He pays his mortgage, $2,000, the property to live. He bought a second property to be investment property. That property pays itself and the mortgage of the one that he lives.
Yeah.
I would do the opposite. I would buy that one first. Now I'm making a lot of money. I'm paying for that property, and that property is giving me money. So that money I'm going to save or pay. I'm going to pay my rent. Oh, Daniel, but in that moment I'm paying rent. You're paying mortgage anyway with your salary. Because when he bought his first property, between the time he bought his first property and the second one, he only had his salary. So he was paying the mortgage out of the salary anyway.
Yeah.
So in the beginning you're going to rely on the salary, but the idea is in 2, 3, 4 years I don't rely on my salary anymore. So my salary is now this property is paying my cost of living.
Yeah.
So my salary now is to put towards whatever I want. Can be the property that I want to live, or buy a second investment property and keep paying rent for that period that you are building your assets. When you buy a property, you are taking money away from building something in the future. Yes, you are building equity in the property that you live. Yes, but it's consuming you money to build that equity.
Yeah.
I have two options. An asset that can make me money to make more money, or another asset that I'm paying to build for the future.
Yeah.
So if you take out the emotion, and that's the most important factor of success for investors, is removing the emotion out of it. Oh, I'm renting my house. You're not. You don't live there. It's not your house. It's an investment, just like a bond or a stock.
I think that's a hard feeling that I need to overcome, because I think you're completely right. I mean, I do think that would be a business. I have to look at it as a business instead of my home that is being rented out. The good thing about, I mean, honestly, I think that's really going to be what I'm leaning towards now that you're talking about, because at the end, I mean, I am going to purchase here in Florida, South Florida, which is a really top destination too. So for the record of people that we know who have Airbnb,
there's apartment in South Beach, studios apartments for $200,000, $250,000, $300,000 that make a lot of money in an Airbnb. Would you live there? Fuck no.
No.
But it's making you money.
Yeah.
Okay, now okay, I cannot save my salary because I just make enough to pay that. But now this property is saving me money. Okay, this property that I bought is bringing me more cash. Yeah. So I'm going to still keep living the same lifestyle that I have. I'm not going to increase my lifestyle. And this extra money that I'm making, now I'm going to put aside. Okay, now I banked towards, during 1 year, $50,000, $60,000. Okay, now I have money to give as a down payment for another property. What I'm going to do? Now you start to getting addicted because you are making money. Okay, I'm going to buy another investment property.
Of course, that's
and to the point you have 2, 3 properties, 4 properties, and you are making your living out of that. Either you're going to say, fuck my job, I'm going to live from that.
I love my job, by the way.
Or, no, nice, these properties now are paying my costs. So every money that I make on my hard work, I'm going to put towards building more assets or buying my home.
My vacation home.
Exactly, that's how I think, but in the end, the investor, the consumer, needs to do what is best for them. My point of view is that, because I've been in stressful financial situations, that I know how it is to not sleep because you think, fuck, I need to do something because I need to pay rent. And when you have something that is bringing you cash while you sleep,
yeah, that's the ideal. That's what everyone wants. Yeah.
That's what Warren Buffett does. Until you make money while you sleep, you're always going to be in high risk.
Okay, so just kind of recap, and I think you sold your points really well, and this is how I'm gonna kind of put it on or how I see them now. Yes, currently purchasing my place to live right now is not the best idea, because honestly I do like certain lifestyle and I like living by the water, and I don't know if, you know, the prices right now would allow me to do so. So I will have to compromise location, which you were right. I mean, I hated not loving the place where I live. Second, if I buy a multi-family at 3 doors like we're saying, it will be about the same. Location most likely will be compromised, because again, I mean, buying 3 doors is not going to be cheap. So definitely Airbnb seems to be the best option right now. I like the idea. I think at this point in my life, I do want to have that extra income besides my job, because it gets to the point that I love working. Everyone knows, who knows me knows that I love working. I love my job. But yeah, I want to make money while asleep. And the good thing is living in South Florida, doing Airbnb is really a business. I guess I just never saw the perspective that, oh, I'm going to be renting my home, instead of like, oh, I have a business that is giving me money.
Exactly.
And that business is, besides building equity, is bringing me cash flow.
Exactly. And it's a easy business to manage. You don't have employees, you don't have stocks, you don't have stock of products, you don't have suppliers.
Yeah.
Like, it's your property, and now is about, okay, how much work do you want to put towards it? Daniel, I don't have a lot of time. Okay, so hire someone to clean it every time someone gets out. Okay, so that's going to reduce your return a little bit, but it will give you time to do whatever you want. So basically that. So we have...
so Airbnb should pay for this
have
Q&A.
3 minutes.
Airbnb should pay for this Q&A.
Yeah.
We just made a really high promotion for Airbnb. Obviously, we're not sponsored. This is like a genuine conversation of someone who is exploring my financial future. To someone who, you know, I believe in his opinions and expertise very much. I trust him a lot, and that's why initially is when we started the conversation. When I told him about iGenius, it's not because I wanted him to get him more. It's because I know he knows about this kind of business. I know he knew about investments, so I told him to look at it, to give me his opinion if I should do it or not. So I appreciate your time. I definitely appreciate you answering those questions. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be kind of thinking about this, and they're going to see things a little bit differently. I hope you do. And I'm going to promote you if they want to purchase properties. Daniel is the person that you want to deal with, because you can trust it. It's true though. Like, I see how you treat your clients. Your clients love you. They call you just to say, hey dude, how you doing? And I was like, my clients call me because they need fuel or they need trips. They don't necessarily call me because they want to see how I am.
But they close with you because they like you.
Yeah, but it's still. So yeah. Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Cheers to a great conversation, to a good whiskey, and to a great night.
See you tomorrow.